And we're live. It's Adam Robinson, founder and CEO of Retention.com. So Retention.com is priced in a way that is meant to accelerate sales velocity and facilitate a land grab. It is a market share maximization pricing strategy. There's three things I'm trying to do when I price this like this. Number one, I'm trying to have brands not even think about price when they're evaluating the solution, which speeds everything up. Our number one value is velocity. Number two, I want to be so far below our indirect competitors that they could not even stay in business if they tried to compete with us on price. So they just give up. They'll just hand us that part of the market. And then number three, I want to have our pricing create such wildly positive ROI outcomes for brands that it accelerates word of mouth or this brand heat, which I consider an unmeasurable positive energy that I literally spend my life trying to create in every possible way, not just this way, employees, partners, the whole thing. There's an added benefit of being able to raise prices a bunch in subsequent years when you price like this, and it will create a super valuable revenue expansion story for your business. The total opposite of this philosophy would be to maximize short-term revenue. So what we could do is we could sell for 4 times as much as we're selling for right now. We could close 1/2 of the deals and we'd have 2 times the near-term revenue. No one would be talking about how amazing our solution is. We would not have over half of our business coming in inbound. But we could do that and our revenue would be higher. So our executive team and sales org started pushing me a couple weeks ago to allow them to raise prices. And they explained that it would only be for our largest prospects who in some cases were paying our indirect competitor millions per year. And I had this absurd idea to stand up to a $5,000 a month unlimited deal, which I loved at the time. We could charge 10 to 20,000, maybe 30,000 in some cases. The brand would still be 20x ROI or more. So I agreed. And the problem is I heard a few weeks later that they were selling our second lowest plan, which was not what they said they were going to do, for double what they had been selling for previously. So I didn't like this, but I understood why they did it. There's always a push from the sales org to raise prices because they get paid commission on short-term revenue. Unfortunately, this does damage to the brand longer term. This slows things down without you even realizing it until it's too late. So I was very worried about these two things because I'm literally spending my entire life trying to maximize brand heat and increase velocity. Spoke to Mike and Diane about it. We agreed that they'd dial it back to a 25% price increase, which I think, everybody can, they're still going to be in that same paradigm of brand wow. And they just raised the large, like they said they were going to do before, they just raised the large prices higher, and it would keep the velocity brand heat components in the back of their mind as they did all this stuff. So what are the lessons here? Our strategy is not strategy for everybody. We don't have any direct competitors. We're going for a land grab. We have a penetration pricing strategy and we want customer count. We want market share. However, for a lot of other people, you may want to maximize revenue. So just price with purpose. Don't just copy people. Don't just guess. Just figure out what you want to do with your pricing and price that way. I think this is a really important one. I'm trying to figure out ways to articulate it in other ways, but allow space for the unmeasurable. There are the biggest things in business are the abstract things. There is this human emotion part of what's going on in our company right now, which is the rocket fuel for our growth. I call it brand heat. I call it magical energy. It's literally what I'm spending all of my time doing. This has a lot to do with it. I'm trying to just build excitement in this thing. You cannot measure this brand heat. I mean, and you can try, you can find proxies, but the excitement of someone telling 10 people that they're 50x ROI is something that you'll never be able to measure. However, once you start measuring sales numbers, it will make you raise prices to the point where people are no longer excited and talking to other people about it, and you won't realize it. So just keep that in mind. Allow space for the unmeasurable. And then if you can, try to get your salespeople on, or your sales leaders at the very least, on incentive plans that have them orient to the long term. Otherwise, they're just going to raise prices and decimate your brand while they're doing it. So I am Adam Robinson. Follow me if you want to see me build a unicorn in public. That is our experience with raising prices recently.